Okay, friends, here we are again. Back for another episode of I Need Friends, a podcast about whatever. I'm Kelly. You're my friend today. So thanks. Thanks for joining and being my friend because I got some things I got to talk about. Got to get off my chest. Got some stuff that's really bothering me. And I could really use an ear. So if you got one, just throw it my way. And listen to me talk about how terrible all of you are at driving. What is wrong with all of you? What are you doing? Did you not pay any attention in driver's ed? Like the one class in high school that you knew you were going to use for the rest of your life? You just didn't pay attention? Do you just not know like what a speedometer's for? Or like side mirrors, rear view mirrors, blinkers, headlights? Just did you never learn? Because that's how I feel when I'm driving on the road. Maybe you're as frustrated as I am. And some of you that are as frustrated as I am are frustrated for the wrong reasons. And you are, in fact, the assholes on the road. And some of you are frustrated because you're trying to not be the asshole on the road, but everyone else just is for some reason. Where do you all have to be? Where are you going? I know not all of you are driving to work and you're running late. I know at 2:37, this person behind me on the interstate probably isn't running late for work at this point. Oh, but Kelly, people go to work at all times during the day. Yeah, I know. Okay, that's beside the point. Anyway, most of y'all just need to chill. I'm not talking like I'm frustrated with you guys like I have road rage, because I've been there. And that's just, it's no way to live your life. You will kill yourself if you continue to have road rage. Not only that, you look so stupid when you do it. Like I used to be this person yelling at people on the road, honking my horns, slamming on my gas, tires squealing away from wherever I am. You look insane. You see other people doing this and you're like, wow, what a jackass. Well, that's you when you do it. Same thing when you like flip people off on the road. If that's all you do is give someone a finger, you're the one that looks dumb in that situation and not the other person. So I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Disappointed in you guys. I thought perhaps in 2021, we'd all be better drivers. I mean, think about all these cars they've had coming out for several years now with these lane sensors, and the car basically drives for you. You know, it's the next step to everyone having cars that just run on autopilot. But people still can't figure it out for some reason. And it seems like the biggest thing is that the concept of the left lane being the passing lane just seems to be lost on so many people. This is something that should just be common knowledge. You should just know. On top of that, some places have signs that let you know, and now states even have laws where it's illegal to impede traffic by riding in the left lane and not letting people pass you, because the left lane is for passing and it keeps traffic moving. You may be wondering why I'm so worried about all this, unless this bothers you too and you're like, fuck yeah, give it to me. I hate all this shit too. Fuck all these people on the road because they're crazy. Because seriously, what are you guys doing? But anyway, no, it bothers me because the way that you drive on the road, it affects a bunch of other people. And you don't know how many people it's going to affect. It's not like you're walking slowly down the sidewalk and now some people have to like scoot around you. It's like, no, a few cars can cause like a whole congestion that could lead to a full-on traffic jam, which can also contribute to accidents when there are too many cars congested in one area. Why do you all feel the need to drive right next to each other on a 4-lane interstate. Just create some space. I've started. I used to be a speed demon. Just had to go fast, super fast all the time. I got places to be. Get out of my way. Gotta go. I used to just drive pretty crazy, and once I started just being chill when I'm on the fucking road and paying attention to what I'm doing and realizing that speeding doesn't actually save you that much time, to my dismay when I discovered that. I did not want to accept that as fact. But you're really not saving a lot of time. Unless you're running late for work and you need that like 1 to 3 minutes, or like you're going to get in trouble or get fired, then by all means, speed your ass off. But, you know, if you're just going to dinner, you're just going to the mall, that 1 or 2 minutes, it's not worth the stress, and it's not worth possibly getting a ticket, which is one of the reasons that I stopped speeding, is because I got a ticket and I just, But I chill in the right lane now when I'm driving on the interstate. I just chill. I go like 5 miles above the speed limit because most people are already driving above the speed limit. I'm trying to, keep up with the flow of traffic at least, because it's just a courteous thing to do. But I catch all these groups of cars coming past me. If you're a right lane driver, you've noticed this too. Just these little packs of cars. You'll see them coming in your rearview mirror because you're supposed to be checking that regularly while you're driving. I think I nailed that word. Regularly. Beautiful. I have the best words of all the words. But no, you see these little packs coming. It's just little groups of cars, and they're all just clumped together, and that just create some space. There's no cars in front of this pack. There's no cars behind them. It's like, y'all just spread out. Like, what are you doing? And you watch these people, like, they want to get around. So one of the interstates that I drive normally, and I'm talking about in Virginia, although like all Americans suck at driving. It's not just Virginia, although we're probably one of the worst. Right up there with Florida and New Jersey. Drivers in New Jersey, y'all just need to chill. I think maybe people aren't smoking enough weed up there. If we could just get a little more passed around, maybe y'all would calm down on the road. But no, in Virginia, one of the interstates that I drive, it's got 4 just cozy lanes, and one of them's an HOV lane, but it's like always open to all traffic. And there's something about people around here that just, they don't want to use that lane even when it's open. It's like they're behind someone who's already going 70 and they're up on their ass when the speed limit is 55, and they could just get over into this lane. They could just get right over and either pass them and get in front of them, or pass them and just keep going because no one else is in that lane. And they won't do it. They'll just like ride on the ass of this car, and then they'll try to like go around them on the right, and then get frustrated because they can't get through them with the cars on the right because that's not the fucking passing lane. So the cars are going slow. I'm just like, what are you doing? Just get over. And so they just cause all this congestion, and they just crowd all around each other. And then you have these cars that just don't want to get over. It's like, oh, this car is trying to pass me and is being really unsafe with how close it is to me. But, I'll show him by not getting over. He thinks he's going to drive past me. Not today. No cars are going to drive past my car. Like, get over yourself. Get over yourself and get over in your car to let these people pass you. Just get over all of it. It's not a big deal. It's not some competition. It's like a car starts like driving up next to you to pass you. And I know that there are times where you're not really paying attention to your speed, and you realize that someone is passing you, like, oh, I'm going too fast, I'm going too slow, whatever. And you adjust your speed accordingly. But like, let the car pass you. Just let the car get in front of you a little bit. Or the people that, they realize a car's passing them and they're like, oh, I don't think so, mister. And they're like speeding up to like go the same speed as this car that went. Just like, what is the issue with them getting around you? What is that going to do to you? Is that a serious bruise to your ego. Like, do you go home and think about this at night? Like that one car that got past you, he got one over on you. It's just have a little courtesy. Leave a little space. Just let go a little bit. You don't need to police everybody on the road. It's not up to you to control how fast everyone is going, or like what lane someone needs to be in, or where they should be on the road. If someone is trying to get past you, just let them over. And if you're trying to get past someone and they can't get over, then back up, because there's nothing they can do. So I was driving on a back road, kind of coming from like the Sandbridge, Virginia Beach area, coming into Chesapeake of Virginia. So if you're familiar with that area, then you know, like, traveling down North Landing Road is just 2 lanes with ditches and trees on either side. And the speed limit changes a lot. It goes from 35 to 45 to 55, back down to 45. It's just, you got to pay attention. And there's neighborhoods, farms, random little businesses. So there's all these intersections and places for people to pull out where there aren't lights. So it's just like, you should be going the speed limit. You shouldn't be speeding on these roads, and you should be paying attention for safety's sake. So there's this car behind me, and this was like just the other day. There's this car behind me that it's not quite tailgating me, but pretty much. Like, I can't see their license plate. They're too close. It's making me uncomfortable. I can't really see much around them because of how close they are to me. So, I mean, they were tailgating me. But I'm already going 5 miles over the speed limit anytime the speed limit changed. So if it's 35, I'm going 40. If it's 45, I'm going 50. I'm sure you guys can do basic math by adding 5 to things, and I don't have to go through all of that. But this person just wouldn't back off of me. And I'm like, what? I'm not speeding on these windy, narrow, ditchy roads to make you feel better. And she had opportunities to pass me where you had the yellow dotted line and there were no cars coming the other way. I'm actually not sure if this was a woman. It just looks like, you see cars that, like, you just assume someone of a certain gender is driving them. Like, you see a car and you're like, that's a woman in her 40s driving that car. I can't see her, but that's probably what it is. Or you see like a certain truck and you're like, oh, like that's a 22-year-old dude in that truck. Not that you're going to be right most of the time, but you know what I'm talking about. Just those first impressions that you get. We all make our initial judgments, right? Even if we try to do away with them quickly. Anyway, so this person, possibly a woman, really not important, behind me, and the cars that were in front of me, I wasn't very close to them, but I could see them the whole time. So even as they got further away from us, they were still in our sight, because you do eventually come across a traffic light and you'll sit there for a little bit so all the cars that were behind you catch up. And we were always behind these cars whenever we got to a red light. So it's not like they were making it through any lights that we weren't making it through. Like, we were basically all traveling together. They just got a little bit ahead. But it's not like I could have gone much further. So if I was going faster, as soon as I caught up to this car in front of me, like, that's it. Now where am I going to go, lady? Like, what do you want me to do? So finally, this tractor pulls out in front of me to turn into some neighborhood, and I had to slam on my brakes because I'm traveling at 50 miles an hour. And now there's this tractor that was stopped who's now making a turn going probably 4 miles an hour. And of course, the car next to me comes dangerously close to hitting me. And so I'm just like, well, yeah, what did you expect? That's why you don't ride my ass. That's why you need a bat in case something like this happens and I have to slam on my brakes. I have my daughter and her niece in the back seat, and I would rather your car not go into the back of them. So if you could just back the fuck off. And guess what? They did. The rest of the drive, until we got to the point where we all split off and went our different ways, she did not get nearly as close to me as she did before. And I'm like, well, yeah, like, seriously, what did you think? Like, where do you guys have to be? Where are you trying to get that is that important that you're willing to rear end somebody just to get there. Just slow down and just back up 10 feet. That's all you're giving. It's just 10 on the road. That's nothing. There's 5,280 feet in a mile. Okay? You can give 10 feet. It's okay. You're not losing at anything because you're not going faster than somebody on the road. Okay? Like, you're going to be okay. You haven't lost anything. You're just trying to drive somewhere like everyone else. And the place that you have to be likely isn't more important than where they have to be. Which is why you don't get to decide what other people are doing on the road. Like, I could have been brake checking this person. I could have slowed down to try to mess with them, like teach them a lesson. But it's unnecessary, and that's not my job to do that. I don't know why this person's in a hurry. I feel like they're being a dick, but maybe they have a reason for doing what they're doing. Maybe they have Crohn's disease or IBS, and they just really need to get to a bathroom. Maybe they're just not paying attention, and they didn't realize they were so close to me until they had to slam on their brakes and almost rear-ended me, which I don't have time to deal with that either. No one likes being in car accidents. So like, I don't know anything about this person. I can make as many assumptions about them as I want from the way that they're driving, and it might be pissing me off, but that doesn't mean I get to decide what they're doing on the road. I actually, I considered pulling off, just pulling into a neighborhood and then just making a little U-turn to turn back on the road to let these people pass me, because it was making me that uncomfortable with how close they were driving to me. And people do the same thing, like in heavy traffic too. Like, so I know in a lot of areas, there's just not enough road for all the cars that are on the road. But in many areas, I feel like there are, and people just aren't using the road the right way. So it's like, you have to think of lanes on an interstate as like lines, like a checkout line or a ticket line or something. The more lines that are open and the more lines being used, the more people will get through quickly. So think about, when you go to Walmart and how there's only like 2 lanes open now. There used to be 8. And so you'd have maybe 3 or 4 people in a line at a time just moving through. And now when there's 2 or 3 lanes open, you have, 10 to 12 people in a line at a time, and it's taking much longer to get these people through. Because with more lanes open, you can have more people passing through one area at a time. With less lanes open, you have fewer people passing through an area at a time. I mean, that makes sense, right? So when you're driving on the interstate, if you're not using all the lanes and all the people aren't using them the way that they're supposed to, you're going to have fewer cars passing through these areas in the same amount of time, which is in the same amount of cars are coming regardless. So they're going to pile up. They're going to congest. It's going to make it harder for people to get onto the interstate, which means that cars are slowing down to let people on because no one's creating space so that people can use the zipper method. Let me say that again. No one is creating enough space so that people can use the zipper method. The zipper method. The zipper method. If you don't know what the zipper method is, you need to get your shit together. If you're one of those people who thinks that the person who drives to the end of the lane to merge is the asshole, you need to get your shit together. You're the wrong one in this situation. I'm sorry, but you're the asshole. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to drive and you're supposed to use the lane that they gave. The people who designed the road, it's not like they're like, I guess we'll put this lane here for aesthetics. Like, it looks pretty cool, right? Let's just have them paint that on. No, they put it there because they're like, for people to come off of this part and to get onto this part of the interstate, we need this much road to allow them on there. So they set it up for you to use all of that lane. So use it. What are you doing? People will stop. Like, as soon as the solid white becomes the dotted white line, they'll just stop right there. You can't stop in the middle of the road. road because you can't get over. You can't do that. If you can't get over, you have to drive to the end of the lane. And I know it's hard to do because so many people consider it the asshole thing, but you have to just look forward. You don't make any eye contact. You just go. And if you're one of the people in the right lane as other people are merging, or if they're coming from the left, then leave some space from the car in front of you. If you're already in traffic, 5 cars, 10 cars, even 15 cars getting in front of you is not going to make that much difference for where you're going, because you're all stuck in the same place. But think about how many times you've been stuck in traffic and you've seen this one car that's so impatient, just weaving through as much as they can, trying to get ahead. And you notice they do get a little ways ahead of you. But then you take your exit and you pull up at a stoplight and there they are. And all they've done is stress themselves out, piss off other people on the road, make the road less safe for other people, and then they didn't get to their destination any faster. So it didn't do anything. But anyway, back to the zipper method, because I think it's very important to keeping traffic flowing. Because, I mean, just think about it. If all the cars continuously move, then everyone is continuously moving. But if cars are moving until they get right up on the bumper to the car in front of them, and then stopping, well, then the cars are not continuously moving. Now they're stopping, and now you're getting fewer cars through the same area in the same amount of time, when if everyone was just moving and letting people move through, you could get more cars through the same area in the same amount of time. But everyone's just like, nope, can't get in front of me. I'm driving home. This is a competition. And I'm going to get where I'm going before you get where you're going, wherever that is, because I don't know you or anything about you, because you're a stranger on the road. But I'm going to act like you're my enemy, and you getting where you need to go is keeping me from going where I need to go. And that's just not the case. Just get over yourselves. Y'all need to just calm down on the road. If you want to drive slow, you get in the right lane. Okay? You maintain your speed. If you want to drive quickly, you get in the left lane. And if you're not all the way in the left lane, you want to pass somebody, you pass them in one of the left lanes. You do not pass them in the right lane. Do you know more accidents are caused by people passing unsafely than are caused by people speeding? So it's not your job to control what people are doing on the road. If someone is trying to pass you and you're in the far left lane, get over and let them pass you. It doesn't matter if you're already going 20 miles over the speed limit and you're like, I'm going 75. That's fast enough for you. Well, you don't know that. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know where they have to be. And you don't know what's going to happen if you're trying to impede them from traveling wherever they're traveling. Road rage is a scary thing. And these people are all strangers to you. I mean, it's not like it's extremely common, but it's also not terribly rare that there are violent road rage attacks, whether it's someone like trying to drive their car into someone else, or actually getting out and fighting someone, or stabbing someone, or following someone to their house. Just don't fuck with people on the road. Do your thing, stay in your lane, check your mirrors, watch your speed, watch your distance, or how far you are how close you are to the car in front of you. It's really not that complicated. And don't change lanes in the tunnel. Don't change fucking lanes in the tunnel. What is with all of you changing lanes in a tunnel? It's like the easiest thing to not do. I think that's probably the easiest law of the road to follow. Speeding's hard because you can get distracted. You're not paying attention. Especially if you're driving a different car than you normally drive. The gas pedal's like way different. You know, it's pretty easy to mess that up or to go the wrong speed. But, you know, when you're driving in a lane and you're in a tunnel and there's a solid line and you're not supposed to, you just don't cross. It's how a lot of accidents are caused in the tunnel. People trying to change lanes. Just don't do it. The things that you do on the road affect so many other people. So by you driving selfishly, you're ruining like 100 other people's day. You might not be ruining their day, but at the very least, you're ruining their commute. And commutes can just be very stressful. Driving anywhere can be stressful. It's very stressful in America because in order to drive properly and for things to work the way they need to work on roadways, you have to have strangers working together. And that's just not something that generally we're very good at here. It's like everyone's against the other person. That's why, like, when someone lets you over on the road, you're just, oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much. And you're like mouthing to them like really big, thanks. Oh my God. Thank you for letting me over. Because you're not really saying anything, but you're just so surprised. You're like, oh, someone was nice to me on the road. That never happened. Thank you, sir. You deserve an award. Someone, can we get this person an award? They let me in front of them on the road instead of trying to run me down. It's just, it drives me crazy. I'm not angry. I'm just fucking appalled. I'm just appalled that people haven't figured this out yet. Oh, too many of y'all driving around that should not be driving around. But here we are, and here y'all are. If you're a good, safe driver, kudos to you. Hopefully you appreciated this rant. And if you're not a good, safe driver or not a courteous driver, maybe you learned something today. And you can help the roads move more smoothly or the cars on the road to move more smoothly. We don't really want roads moving. Those kind of need to stay where they are. Although that sounds kind of cool, right? Like, you know, the staircases in Harry Potter that just like move. I guess, you know, they kind of do something similar with train tracks, so it's really not that innovative. They switch where those are going. So whatever, scratch that. It's not as brilliant a plan as I thought it was. Oh well. I'm sure my next idea will be a great one. Anyway, as always, let me know your thoughts. Good or bad. You can send me fan mail. You can send me hate mail. Either one is your choice. You have the freedom to do either of those things. I would prefer not to get hate mail. Generally, people don't want that. If you are going to send hate mail, at least make it funny or fill it with just grammatical mistakes so that we can all make fun of it later. Something like that. You can send me an email at ineedfriendspod@gmail.com. That's ineedfriendspod@gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram. So you can hit me up on Insta. Also, I Need Friends Pod, but there's an underscore in there. Okay. So don't forget that. I Need Friends _pod. And I'm also on Twitter. So take your pick. Twitter is, my username for that is a lady human. I'm sure you can guess how I came up with that name. Not very good with screen names. Never been my strong suit. So, next episode, I haven't decided what it's going to be on yet. I got a few in the holster. Got a few I could whip out. Some interesting things I want to talk about. My daughter recently, so she just turned 9 on Sunday. So she was 8 when she asked me this. She recently asked me, what's the point of humanity? So that was a fun conversation. But I might wait till I can bring her in for that one. Because she's just, she's a fascinating 9-year-old. I mean, we were talking about the point of humanity. I also want to talk about how humans value other humans. How we value each other. Things like, you know, adopting, foster parenting, IVF, puppy mills, the death sentence, jails, homeless people. How we really think of each other and if the majority of us really are truly good at valuing all humans equally. Because I'm sure if we're honest with ourselves, we probably don't. I think that would be interesting to explore. Another one, should kids have phones and social media? So those are some I've been working on in my little notebook, taking some notes down. If any of those sound interesting to you and you would like to hear something about that, then send me an email or hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. I think I'm going to call it. I think that's going to do it for today. We got a solid half hour in. You and me, bud, had a good day. I'm going to go back to enjoying this sunny afternoon here in Virginia Beach because